Hello everyone, welcome to the new video on Gradients Plus. In this series, I am going to solve DILR questions from various difficulties from CET to CAT level. And today we have a CAT 2020 slot 3 question. This set had 6 questions, and if you had solved only this set in 40 minutes, you would have scored about 18 marks, which is approximately 85 percentile. And if you could solve 2 more questions from any other set, you would have easily crossed a 90 percentile mark in DILR CAT 2020. So let's read the question, and if you want, you can pause your video and give it a shot. If you are new to the CAT, you would get a fair idea about the CAT DILR questions and its types. And if you are a repeater, you might learn something new today. So let's start with this question. Try solving it by pausing your video and let me know in the comment box how much time you took to solve this question. So let's start reading this question. The question says there is a game, that is a high and low game, which is a 4-player game played in 6 rounds. In every round, each player chooses to bid high or low. And we have few conditions. If all 4 bids are high, then all 4 loses 1 point. So let me just make a note of it. So if I have 4 high bids, all of them loses 1 point. If 3 players bid high, that means 3 H and 1 low. That means the players who is bidding high will gain 1 point each, and the players bidding low will lose 3 points. That means the highs will gain 1 point while the lows will lose 3 points. The next condition, if 2 players bid high and 2 players bid low, those who bid high will gain 2 points. That means H is plus 2 and every L is minus 2. If one player bids high and 3 players bid low, then the players bidding high gains 3 points while the players bidding low will lose 1 point. And the last condition says if all of them bid low, that means each and everyone will gain 1 point. And we have few conditions. So before reading the conditions, let's try to make a table. So let's try to read the conditions now. So the first condition states that after 3 rounds, Arun had 6 points, Deepak had 2 points, Bankim and Charu, that is B and C, had minus 2 points. So Arun had 6 points, Deepak had 2 points, and B and C had minus 2. And the second condition states that at the end of 6 rounds, Arun had 7 points, B and D had minus 1, and C had minus 5. And the third condition states that Deepak's score in the third round was less than his score in the first round. So let's say third round Deepak's score was X. It was less than the first round. That means first round was X plus, means something more than X, and it is more than his second round. That means it has to be X minus, something less than X. So that's it. We have only these 3 conditions and we have read that. Now let's try to solve this question. Now the first thing that should strike you, that after 3 rounds, Arun had a score of 6. Now understand that. Now with the given points, what is the combination that can give you a total of 6? So there is one combination, 3 plus 2 plus 1, it is 6. Now is this the only combination? Yes, to form 6 you need to have 3, 2, 1, but currently we don't know the order of this. So now let's try to fit in the 3, 2, 1 in round 1, round 2 and round 3 for Arun. So understand, if Arun scored a 3-pointer in the round 1, that means this condition has to be satisfied. If Arun is scoring 3 here, all of them had to score -1, because if in this condition 1 high 3 lows, so all other 3 members had to score a -1. But the catch is this number is an x plus, that means it has to be more than x. Now in order to have this number as -1, x has to be something less than -1, so it could be -2. Now if this is -2, my x minus, that is something which is less than x, has to be -3. Now if you add all these 3 point numbers, -1, -3 and -2, it won't give you a 2. That means our primary assumption of number 3 being here is wrong. That means 3 cannot be here. So let's think about, can 3 be here? So let's put 3 over here, and -1, -1 and -1. If my x minus is a -1, x has to be something more than -1. It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3. Now in order to get number 2 after 3 rounds for D, I have to carefully select these 2 numbers. Now the x has to be more than -1. Let's take it as 1. If my x is 1 and I have to get the addition of these 3 numbers as 2, this number has to be 2. Now in this way I am satisfying the conditions for D, as well as I am satisfying the condition for the x, x minus and x plus as well. Now if x plus, the first round D is scoring 2, that means now just check out the conditions in which of the cases you can get a +2. There is only one case, if 2 are selecting high and 2 are selecting low, that means D is selecting high in this round. And in third round I am getting 1 as a D score. Now just check in the conditions from where you can get +1. +1 you can get out of these 2 conditions. The first being 3 highs and 1 low, and fourth being all 4 of them are low. Now for A, I have 2 remaining options or 2 remaining spaces to be filled. Those numbers has to be out of 2 or 1. So if I put 2 over here and 1 over here, that makes it a case of all ones. That is, all have selected the lows. So can I just go ahead and say that low, low, low and low? And in this case I'm getting 2 2s. That means it is a case of 2 highs and 2 lows. That means it is high and it has to be -2 with 2 lows. And in the second round I'm getting +3 and -1 3 times. That means this is high and all the rest are low. So that is how we have got the first part of the answer. So we have reached till the third round. So let's think about the next 3 rounds. Now if you can recall the third condition which was given. Third condition was, in exactly 2 of the 6 rounds, Arun was the only player who bid high. That means there has to be 2 rounds in which Arun should be the only one who is bidding high and the rest should be bidding low. Now which is the first round? Second is the first round for that. So you can see Arun is scoring high, the rest are scoring low. Now there has to be one more round of the similar pattern. So let's take round 4 as to be that round where Arun is scoring high and all others are scoring low. That means Arun is scoring 3 and rest are -1. Now we have reached up to this level. Now we just have to calculate what all the possible numbers that can fill in these 2 slots. So let's concentrate on A. So we have reached 6 plus 3 9 and we want a final output to be 7. Now in how many ways you can reach from 9 to 7? You have to think about that. You have 2 spaces to fill in. So one way of doing it is -1 and -1. So 9 minus 1 is 8, 8 minus 1 is 7. The other way of doing it is +1 and -3. So we have two possibilities for 5th and 6th round for A. Now let's try to understand and let's try to put both the values at once and we will nullify whichever is the wrong one. So first case being -1 and -1. So I'll put one -1 here in the upper bracket of the 5th round. Same way for the 6th round. And +1 and -3. Now we'll focus on the -3 wala part. Now you just have to go back to the cases which were mentioned and see where you can get -3. Now -3 you can get in this condition only, wherein you have 3 highs and 1 low. Suppose if I am getting a -3 in this case, all the rest has to be highs and +1. So this has to be high, 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 and this has to be a low. Okay, so I'm talking about the lower part of 5th and 6th round. So now can you fill in the space for this one? Now we just have to tally. So the -2, -1 is -3, -3 plus 1, -2. So what number do you need in order to get a -1? You need a +1. That means it has to be a +1. Now if you get a +1 in two consecutive spaces, that means this case has to get fulfilled. That means all are +1 by saying all have chosen the low bid. So +1, +1. So all of them are low. Now you just need to tally for all the players and see if you can get the final output which are given over here. If you are getting the final output exactly the same, then this is your answer. If not, the assumption that we have made of +1 and -3 is wrong, and we need to calculate again for the second assumption, that is -1 and 1, which is over here in the upper half of the 5th and 6th round. Okay, so let's check for the D. So for D we had 2 plus 1, 3 plus 1, I'm getting answer as 4, but I need to have an answer of -1. That means the assumption which we have made that A has got +1 and -3 in the 5th and 6th round is wrong. That means the other assumptions that we took, that is -1 and -1, has to be correct. Now we will solve using that assumption. So now we will take the values of A in the 5th and 6th round as -1. So 6 plus 3 9, 9 minus 1 8, 8 minus 1 7. I am getting correct answer for A. Now if you have a -1 as a number in one of the spaces, you just need to go back to the results and see from where you can get a -1. So -1 you can get from two cases. One is 1 high, 2, 3 lows, or 4 highs. So we have two -1s here, 5th and 6th round, and we have two cases from which we can get a -1 as a score. So let's try to apply both the condition in both the rounds. So in one of the rounds we can consider as all the 4 of them being high, and in one of the rounds we can consider the 1 high and 3 lows possibility. So let's try to understand and let's try to put 4 highs in 5th round. So in the 5th round, if all of them are choosing a high bid, that means I'm getting -1 for each of them. So these being high, 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 and high. And in the 6th round, you just need to check whether you are fulfilling the conditions or not by making a tally. So now here is -2, -1 is -3, -3 and -1 is -4. -4 plus something has to be then -4 plus something is -1. This has to be +3. And in C, in the case of C, it is -2, -1, -3, -3, -1 is -4, -4, -1 is -5. So in terms of D, it is 2 minus 1 is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0, and you need a -1 in the final output. That means it is -1. So the 6th round's bid would be 1 high and 3 lows. So this is how you can tackle this set and solve all the 6 questions based on it. In the comment box, let me know Did you face any difficulty solving it? Also, make sure you subscribe to our channel for regular content and videos on B schools and general MBA information. Thank you.